2 weeks ago in my video blog, I talked about the terrible sacrilege situation that happened at a Roman Catholic church in the New Orleans area. The priest engaged in sexual activities on the altar in the church with 2 women. He even filmed the whole thing. Can it get any worse? Apparently so. Witness the case of Lloyd Eddie Lasker Jr., an Arkansas pastor. He's in jail now for trying to perform a violent exorcism on a 21-month-old baby. He was literally trying to beat the devil out of the baby while the mother watched. The child was finally admitted to a hospital with brain bleed, severe bruises, and malnutrition. And they found methamphetamine drugs in the vehicle of the pastor. Apparently, the mother was also a meth addict, and they admitted to using meth with other parishioners in the church. It's crazy. And I've heard some pretty crazy things about deliverance and exorcism through the years. Usually it's just foolish or ill-advised, not deadly. Now, there was this case back in 2004 in Milwaukee. A pastor believed that an autistic child had demons, and he would sit on the child's chest for up to 2 hours at a time, whispering in his ears, supposedly speaking to the demons, trying to drive them out. He ended up in prison. It seems to me that it's likely who had the demons in both of these cases, not the children, the pastors. Traditional exorcism, respectable exorcism, such as we teach in our International School of Exorcism, could never lead to tragedies like this. No one would ever be beaten and abused in a proper exorcism. And if a child did seem to have demons, and they were there because of generational curses, it would be approached differently. I've cast demons out of children. But when you're dealing with a 1-year-old, that's very different. Let's suppose there are generational curses. Well, then the parents have to step in and speak for the child through things such as prayers and baptism and the breaking of generational curses. But never would there ever be threatening intervention of any kind. The biblical practice of exorcism is simple. Expose the demons and bring them forth to identify themselves. Determine what their legal rights are and how they got there, and then finally cast out the demons. What this Arkansas pastor did was not an exorcism, because a 1-year-old can't manifest as we normally think of people manifesting a demon. The child doesn't have the language or the cognitive ability for the demon to express itself. So you can't do a regular exorcism on a child. This tragedy in Arkansas underscores how important it is for people to learn deliverance the right way. And that's why in our International School of Exorcism, we take such care to make sure that people understand the proper way to perform an exorcism. And people who get involved under Do What Jesus Did teams are required to adhere to a very strict code of ethics so nothing like this could ever happen. The tragedy here is that exorcism can go wrong when people don't know how to do it right. And that's why churches need to recognize the time has come to let exorcism be part of the body life of the body of Christ and to teach it properly so that people can be set free and no individual, particularly a child, is ever abused in the process.
Your financial support and prayers make it possible for us to bring hope for the hurting and freedom to those in spiritual bondage. For the latest information regarding ministry outreaches, go to boblarson.org or call 303-980-1511.